What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Scottie Pippen, man. Y'all know of the situation where Larsa Pippen ended up hooking up with Malik Beasley. I've spoken about it a couple of different times on this channel. Y'all can check out the videos. And there was one thing that occurred in this that kind of went unnoticed, but not by me. It was the fact that once this story blew up of Larsa Pippen and Malik Beasley, who's married, by the way, walking hand in hand together in Miami, she ended up going back to Scottie's house. She ended up going back to Scottie's house. Can you believe that? This woman who has admitted to not only getting with Future, but she recently admitted to hooking up with Tristan Thompson during the time that she was married to Scottie. All right. And he still has allowed this woman, even though she went and divorced him, to live in the same house as him. And I think this has to be a very sad situation. Now, there are people that are going to say, well, you know, they have children together. Well, they do, but they have two sons who are over the age of 18. All right. They do. And also they have two younger daughters. Right. But still, they can also split visitation. She can have her own place. He can have his. The reason why she doesn't have her own place because she's not making any money. She's still living off Scottie, the guy that she filed for divorce from. If you don't want to be with this guy, let him go. Let him go, Larsa. But she's not going to do that because she still needs that option in case she completely just has hit the wall and nobody's really checking for her like that. This is why she's out here hooking up with these younger NBA players who really see her as a conquest. She don't understand that, but she will. I mean, she was with Future. She hooked up with a guy who was a lot of these guys' favorite rapper. She's a conquest to these guys. She doesn't understand it. But once these guys no longer check for her, then she'll notice it. Now, some of these guys may actually have the mindset they can wife her up, but she don't want to be wifed up. She want to be for the streets. Larsa Pippen is for the streets, period. Point blank, period. There is no her getting, you can't put that genie back in the bottle. All right. Now let's look at Scottie. Scottie is 55 years old. He does have a net worth of between 30 to 50 million. That's according to the updated sources. So he has money. He has net worth. All right. They have 4 children together, two of which the 2 sons are over the age of 18. One is already in college. So looking at this situation, you can tell, is not really doing much for herself. This is why she's getting with this guy and that guy, because the woman doesn't have her own financial source. Now, again, I could be wrong, but okay, why are you living with Scottie? Why are you in the same home as him? You divorced this guy. You no longer wanted to be with Scottie. Why are you still living under the same roof? Yes, they share kids together, but you're also divorcees. It ain't a situation where you're still together. You're divorcees. Now, the divorce hasn't gone through, which may play a part into why they're living together, but she's sleeping with other dudes. She is coming home during the weekdays and then leaving on the weekends. Or she could be leaving on the weekdays and then coming back to the house on the weekends. And he's allowing this. Scottie is literally allowing this woman to do whatever she wants to do. Just for the sake of what? Her being in a daughter's life? That can't be what it is. People break up. There are people who've gotten divorced a lot this year, who have kids with each other. They work out a situation where he has his own place, she has hers, the kids can go to her place, the kids can go to his place, but she must not have her own place. She literally is treating Scottie like he's a friend that she's roommates with. When she can come and go when she pleases. She'll go out, because right now I believe she's in Minnesota with Malik. So she goes and spends time with Malik, then comes back home, then leaves again for another couple days or a couple weeks, then come back. Meanwhile, you have Scottie, 55-year-old Scottie, who ain't got no new woman, who to me seems lonely, and he's in a situation with somebody who clearly don't love him no more. Now, there are people, this argument has been brought up, right? There have been people, particularly females, that have said, well, maybe he cheated on her. Maybe he messed up so badly that she's allowing him, that he's allowing her to basically emasculate him. I don't think that's the case, to be honest with you, because if they did have problems, you got to understand, he's been retired from the NBA for a long time. There has been no reports of him messing around with other women. There have been no other women who've come forward to say that he got with them. Now, there was a situation in the 90s, a paternity situation, but that was before he got with Larsa. But ever since he been with her, have y'all heard anything? Because you, with this social media age, you mean to tell me he ain't doing nothing? Nope, he's not doing nothing. You know why? Because Scottie is settled in what his life is. Unfortunately, it is basically being the doormat of a woman who's basically the doormat for other men. And when things go south, and when the media pressure gets too much, she goes right back to him. I would never want to be that guy. I would never want to be somebody's doormat. I don't care if we have kids together or not. But it just seems like Scottie is somebody who cares more about having his family together than his own happiness. And this is the problem with a lot of men these days who have the mindset that Scottie has. They're willing to put their own happiness to the side to accommodate a woman that don't respect them, that don't really appreciate them, and is merely using them as a last option. When she's tired of being in the streets, when she's no longer getting checked for, then all of a sudden she's going to want to reconcile with Scottie. Now, I will say this. People are talking about Scottie Pippen dragging his feet about a potential divorce. And people have brought up the fact that it could be because there isn't a prenup. I believe there is a prenup, but Scottie does not want to let go. And she don't want to let go either, even though she divorced them. And I think Scottie is willing, unfortunately, to let this woman still live in his house and let her go off and do whatever she wants to do. Meanwhile, she's watching what he's doing very closely. There was a situation where a woman claimed that her friend posted a DM message that she sent to the friend from Scottie who was trying to talk to the woman. And the woman didn't even respond. The woman ended up basically kind of clowning Scottie. And I believe she knows Scottie. This is Scottie's dating life. This is dating life. He's tried to flirt with what's her name, Rachel Nichols, you know. But Scottie's just, when it comes to, I don't know what it is, when it comes to getting back in the dating market, he's just very awkward. And Larsa knows that. And that's why Larsa responded to what that female did. And the female tried to come back at Larsa. And that woman really don't have any room to talk. You literally ignored this guy when he tried to talk to you. And then she wanted to claim that the guy was harassing her, trying to talk to her. They all claim that. When they get busted and they look bad in the situation, you want to put out stuff about a dude trying to get at you in the DMs. This is crazy. You can tell Scottie don't have no real people around him. You can tell. The only people he's around is Larsa and maybe people she cool with, who's telling him to stick in there, telling him that he needs to, let her be there for the kids. No, you need to let her go, because you're putting your own happiness to the side for a woman who's going through a midlife crisis, for a woman who still wants to be in these streets. It's making you look bad, bro. She divorced you 2 years ago. You need to go ahead and follow through with it, especially if there's a prenup. Now, again, people saying he's doing it for the sake of the children. What about all these other people who've gotten divorced with children? Look at Jay. Look at former NFL player Jay Cutler's divorce. Look how messy that is. They have young children. You need to put your own happiness ahead of a woman who clearly is just using you, who don't respect you, who really